Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today it's time for Famous Places Fridays and we're back to the original Famous Places map. It's been a while since we've played this. So let's hit play, see if some new locations come up and see if we can get them. Okay, well we are on the canals of Venice. Been here plenty of time. The question is where? We've got a footbridge here and I believe that this is by the main railway station in Venice. So let's get in there and check it out. We're looking west at that station. Just waiting for that map to load. Come on. Into Venice we go. And the railway station is by this bridge, obviously. And in fact, you can see the terminals there. So if we zoom in, we can see this footbridge here, the Ponte degli Scalzi. And we're about there, I reckon. Now we can see in the distance the bridge, and there's the station to the north. And we are looking west at it. Now, where are we? Just in relation to some other buildings. Let's try and nail it. We're by the Hotel Canal Grande. So here we are. We're outside of that hotel, about there. Very good. Guess. Spot on. To the next round. Right, this is interesting. Looks like a Washington monument, but I don't think it is it? I don't recognize at the top of this tower, there's some, I don't know, protruding bit, but maybe not. So maybe it is the Washington Monument and it's just under some kind of reconstruction. In which case, yeah, I think we can go for that. I'm not actually used to being so close to it. So, and obviously shrouded in this scaffolding, it looks a bit different, but let's just get into the map and see if everything can line up for us. So into DC we go. I wonder how often it's like this in scaffolding. I'm sure it needs maintenance, of course. And we're looking south-west at this monument. Where is it? It's about here. So that puts us to the northeast of it. And we can see this kind of circle around it. So maybe we're sort of on there. Now let's see what else we can see in the distance, shall we? We've got these paths. And in fact, we've got a path there that sort of peels away from us. So actually, are we there? I think that could be where we are. And there's actually some buildings here in front of us. Is that right? No. Okay, so that doesn't seem to be correct at all. And we've got some construction work going on there ahead of us. This is to the dead to the east now. So dead to the east. We've got this National Museum, African Museum, and I think we've actually seen that in construction before. We've been here once. So I think we're in the right place there. It makes sense that we're on this kind of outer circle, although I'm not sure what these buildings are meant to be on this lawn in front of us here, because they are not visible. Anyway, let's take a guess and see if we got that bit right. And we did spot on. Next round. Okay, very good. This is the Guggenheim Museum in Bilbao. And I think so far we've had all of these before. So the usual famous places problem, I suppose, is that it says there's 500 locations, but I don't think you get them all, to be honest. So here we are. We're outside the front of it, on the river side almost. Something like that, but we need to just sort of double check as to where we are. We're by this kind of sticky out bit, this pavilion, right on the water's edge, actually, aren't we? So I wonder if we can see that pavilion here at all. I think we can there. There's the sticky out bit. So we're sort of right on the edge there, I think. Does that look about right? Yeah, we're pretty close to that, I would say, aren't we? So yeah, that looks pretty good, I think. Maybe we're just a bit further away from it. About there, perhaps. Okay. And guess. 1 yard away. Good. And look at this. Well, we all know where this is, I think. So it's fair to say it's been a pretty straightforward famous places round so far. Maybe the last one will be more of a challenge, but they are by definition famous places. So let's get into London, and this is Tower Bridge, not London Bridge. Some people get those confused. And we just need to check which way we're looking through it. So we're looking to the east. So that actually puts us on the western side, and it's just loading at the moment. We're roughly, well, we're ever so fractionally closer to the northern side. If we look to our left, we'll see the Tower of London there, and some of London's notable landmarks in the distance. This photo is obviously taken a while back because these skyscrapers have actually long since been completed. They're currently, as you can see, getting built. And actually there's several more skyscrapers behind them now as well. So the London skyline has changed a lot since this was made, since this was taken. And you can see we're just on the kind of central side of this northernmost, well, I'm not sure what the word for this is, but this part of the bridge here. So let's just zoom in a fraction. And the bridge doesn't actually load in terms of its profile, but I think there's a pretty good guess. Oh, and we lost a point. Oh, damn. That is frustrating. Bit of laziness there, perhaps. On to the next round. So it won't be a perfect score. And would you look at that? It easily could have been. So that's a tiny bit frustrating, actually. But anyway, we move on. Into New York Harbor we go. And there is the Statue of Liberty. You see, interestingly, there's the New Jersey state line here running through the harbor. And the Statue of Liberty is within the water of New Jersey. But if you scroll in a little further, there is another line on this actual island which says New York, New Jersey. And so this actual island belongs to New York, it seems. But there's a great CGP Grey video on this, which I'll try and remember to link into the description below, which goes on to explain that even that is not totally true. Part of this island, in fact, the most northwestern part here, is part of New Jersey. So as the island has been expanded over time. So anyway, well worth a watch. If I remember to link it, I'll try and do that. So let's just check where we are here. We are looking sort of clearly into the New York City side. We're to the south of this pier that sticks out. So that's about right there. And could have a London Bridge moment here. Sorry, a Tower Bridge. I got it wrong myself. Moment here. If we don't kind of nail this. So I wonder if we can sort of work off these stars here. I think we're kind of in the middle of this star here, aren't we? And I think that's going to put us about there, because the next one is further down here, and I don't think we're at that. So that feels about right, you know. Maybe we're just a bit further in. Guess. 8 yards away. View the summary. Well, that was a relatively straightforward game. Shall we play another one? Why don't we play the same map again? Let's go for it and see if there's 5 locations here that are a bit more challenging. Oh yes, and here's one maybe, because if we're not able to move here, then I don't know where this is. Look at this absolutely magnificent ceiling. And these organs, 2 here, 1 on either side. That's just absolutely fantastic. And we've got these beautiful domes here. So this is extremely ornate. Looks like a very touristy place. Lovely gold leaf above this very dark wood. These seats here. So this is just splendid. Taken by Joseph Maria Vignolas Esteva. And I think it is a photosphere because we really can't move. So it begs the question, where are we? Well, I'm really not sure, to be honest. And my knowledge of sort of these fantastic churches and cathedrals is pretty low. So I'm going to go with Italy. It feels like Italy. And perhaps we're in Florence. I think that could make sense. I'd either go with Florence or Venice here. So given that we've been to Venice already, let's get into Florence instead and change things up a bit. And there is a famous cathedral in Florence. Now I actually don't know the name of it. I think it's this one here, the Cathedral Santa di Santa Maria. And that does sound like, you know, it could be right. Pretty famous, I think. So perhaps we're in here, but I'm not 100% sure. Now, you can never rely on the compass on these photospheres, but let's just give it a try. We're looking northeast into the center of the cathedral, and so that sounds like it could be right. We could be in this southernmost arm here, but not sure on this one. And we were not. Okay, where were we? We were in Cordoba, in Spain. Very good. And more specifically, what was the cathedral? So we've been outside this cathedral many times in Cordoba, but now we're inside it, so that's good. Mesquita Cathedral. Doesn't seem to like to load today. Just the most zoomed in map. De Cordoba. There we go. Iconic Moorish architecture. Fantastic. Next round. Oh, now would you look at this? This is fantastic. This, I think, is a Legoland. And we've had this before in Denmark. There's a couple of Legolands around the world, but I think we all know that the main one is obviously in Denmark. Lego being a Danish organization. And unfortunately, I had a problem before trying to find Legoland. And, you know, it's already slipped my mind again. Absolutely as to where it is. I cannot remember where Legoland is. I really can't. If it's near Copenhagen or not, I'm not sure. And I'm just trying to remember. It's sort of not. I don't think it's in Copenhagen. And I think we've even searched like Aalborg before, and so on. Let's just get in there for a second and see. But I think we've been through this before, and it's a pretty big attraction. So I'm just having to remind myself. It's definitely not in the south there. I think it's on the sort of mainland bit. Is it Esbjerg? Is it on the outsides of Esbjerg? Bilka, Esbjerg, U.C. You see, I think it would be here. I think we'd be able to see it. It's just a case of checking the main towns, I think. There it is. Saw it. Where is it then? Billund. By Billund Airport. I'm going to have to try and remember that a different way. That was kind of luck that I saw it there, because Billund is not a big town, so I think that's why I've struggled before. Now we need to figure out where we are. And we're by the Burj Khalifa. What are we looking at here? We've got... To the south is the main building and this tower. So, where is that? Lego Top, is that this? And there is the main building. So we're possibly up here. Yes, well, I'm not 100% sure, but we're on and there's lots of windy paths here. There's a funfair ride here, it seems. So, yeah, not sure on this one, but I'm going to put us here, because we see the Miniland sign there. Maybe we're by Miniland. Oh, and not quite, but that's much closer than the cathedral guess in Florence. Now, this looks American, and I think that this is the Abraham Lincoln Memorial. We can actually move here, so that's good. We can perhaps go up and see old Abe. If we just move ourselves around the columns here, we should be able to get a better look inside now. And yet we really can't. It's quite dark in there, so the contrast just isn't working in our favor. But if we look this way, we should see the Washington Monument, which is what we were looking at earlier. And look, it's still shrouded in that scaffolding, so that's good. Right, taken around the same time perhaps. So let's get our bearings, check out where the original location is, and get into DC. And we're back in DC here. Very orderly laid out city. There's the Lincoln Memorial, and we're on the steps of it down here, slightly to the southern side. We're not totally at the water's edge, so a bit further back from there. But in fact, can we see we're just a bit north of this sort of circular walkway? So perhaps we're back there. Actually, that might be a bit better. Shy of the main steps still to the Lincoln Memorial, but there we go. And actually, that wasn't spot on either. So some laziness. Okay, very good. And this is an old famous place's haunt. Definitely remember this one from some of my earliest rounds on GeoGuessr. This is Chichen Itza, which is in the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, out by Valladolid. Somewhere around here now, exactly where it is, I'm not 100% sure. Is it this green, slightly darker green area here? No. Not quite where it is. Is it by this airfield, Chichen Itza? Not immediately obvious. We've got there the airfield. So that's a good thing. You'd imagine it's somewhere around here then. I do remember it's to the west of the city, Valladolid. So let's just follow the main road for a sec. And it isn't there. We've got El Castillo. Is it down here? We've got some sites here. Cenotes. No, we're not looking at a cenote. Maybe I just needed to zoom in that bit further. Let's go this way. Huh. And, you know, it doesn't seem to be there. What on earth is going on? Have I got this totally wrong? There's some more monuments up here. Is this? No. Well, this is very strange. I can't find it. So, Chichen Itza, there. We must have seen that before. Right, here we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. Right, okay, very good. El Castillo, this is the main temple in the shape of a pyramid. Very good. And we can see here actually that we're looking south. In fact, the main directions we're looking is sort of southwest and southeast. So that puts us at the northern sort of corner here of this pyramid. So it's very grand, well worth a visit. This whole region, if you've never been, highly recommend it. And you can see there's many other sort of sites around here. There's I remember some kind of sports almost stadium. Perhaps it's this thing. The clock actually ran out on me there, so very good to have made a guess. All right, well, would you look at this? Absolutely gorgeous views from up here. This is in Peru. The name just escapes me for a second. It's a massive sort of attraction. Now, where is it? That's the only other thing. I'm not 100% sure. Is it by Cusco? Somewhere up in here. Machu Picchu. Thank you. Just escaped me there for a second. Now we're up here. Quite where we are in Machu Picchu, I'm not 100% sure, but well, let's just see. Look, we're looking north, and by far and away the sort of main city looks to be ahead of us. So perhaps where we've got it now is not a bad guess. There's all sorts though, isn't there? There's winding roads and everything, and there's some main steps going down there. And yeah, there's not a lot sort of to the south of us there. So I think we are... I think we're in the right location, and there's quite a bit to our west still. So let's say I think here sort of sounds pretty good. Let's go with that guess and see if we're right. Not quite spot on, but almost there. Well, there we go, Machu Picchu. I've struggled to find that one before as well, so glad to have found that. Well, I think the second round was worth doing, to be honest. A bit tougher, as you could see. We didn't nail it, so some lessons learnt there. We got to see inside the cathedral in Spain, for example, which was great. We remembered where Legoland is. We found Machu Picchu, and we eventually found Chichen Itza, which is great stuff as well. So, as always, the famous places rounds, you know, they're an oldie but a goodie. And I think to round off the week, that's exactly what you need. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.